So Nikki came in season 6, and she arrived with that crop of young whippersnappers. Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears, and immediately Nikki just warmed my heart. She had this southern charm to her that was so authentic and real, and she was not only creative but the sweetest person, one of the sweetest people I know to this day. And so,
Dale.
everybody, I'd like you to meet Nikki Deloach.
Well, Dale, that's the nicest. Can you introduce me everywhere I go?
For a nominal fee and royalty.
Nominal fee, Nikki. We'll talk.
For sure.
My people. We'll work it out.
Thank you so much for those words. That was really, really nice. Thank you.
So, Nikki, we're here to celebrate the Mickey Mouse reunion, or the Mickey Mouse Club reunion event, and wanting to, get a deeper insights into the stories of the Mouseketeers and the impact that it's had on their lives. And so one of the first questions I'd like to ask you is, do you mind sharing with, our audience who might watch this on video or in an article, that readers might read about, but maybe tell your journey, or like how you wound up becoming a Mickey Mouse Club? Like, what was the genesis of your story?
Well, like a lot of the people on the show, I was a kid in a small town who was obsessed with singing and dancing and acting. I wanted to be a performer, and I had done small things here and there, gone to New York for a summer, went to LA for a summer. And whenever I was in LA, there's a bunch of agents out there that was wanting my family to move out there. My mom was like, absolutely not. I am not moving my child to Los Angeles, California. You've lost your mind. And they're like, okay, well, if that's not something you want your family to do right now, they're going to be having auditions for the new Mickey Mouse Club members, and in like the next year or so. So if you have an agent, tell your agent. And I had watched the Mickey Mouse Club. I had seen it. I was obsessed with it. I literally did chores and worked very hard so that my parents, we didn't have a lot of money, so that my parents, I earned the Disney Channel because we had to pay extra for it. And yeah, it was like a huge thing to me. And so I worked really hard waiting for that audition to come through. Finally it did. My first audition was in Jacksonville, Florida. My callback was in Atlanta. And then we did the casting camp in Orlando. It was there's 24 of us. And then I got the call that I was one of the 7. Until this day, I still don't know how it happened. There were so many kids that auditioned. And if you would have been down there around the 24 kids that were at that camp, every single one of them were so incredibly talented. Now, of course, there were the standouts, Christina Aguilera, she opens her mouth and you're like, where is that voice coming from? I had never heard anything like her in my life. So you kind of knew, like, if they don't pick her, they're insane. But for someone like me, I just think I was just extraordinarily lucky and really blessed that they saw something in me, and ended up choosing me. I'm so grateful because it changed the course of the rest of my life.
So let's talk about the next steps of the journey. Obviously, you went through probably a very rigorous training regimen and preparation regimen, and to be a part of this variety show and the stresses that come with it. But what would you say from an entrepreneurial perspective, the big lesson that you took away from your experience as a Mickey Mouse Club member?
Hard work pays off, just keep at it. Be the last man standing. At some point in time, somebody's going to say yes, if you just keep going. Really, the one thing that I look at all the kids and all the people that I know, I've never met a person who works harder than Dale, or Justin for that matter. That kid, works, puts in the hours. He really, really, really does. And I think that that's the one thing that all of us have in common, besides the fact that, we all bring a certain talent to the table, but all of us have a work ethic it's just beyond. And I think that's from being an entrepreneur, and in my life now, creating content, thinking of other ways to kind of expand whatever I'm doing now. That's one of the things. It's you really learn how to just show up and do the work, and not make excuses. And to be perfectly honest, when I was on the show, like, it didn't feel like work, and it still doesn't feel like work. Being at home with my 2 children all day, that's work. But going to set for 15 hours and playing pretend for a living, the days can be long, but it's fun. It's so, so, so fun. And as a kid, in that last season, we were doing 6-day weeks and putting on 3 live shows a week. In retrospect, that's an insane amount of work. And for me, and I think most of us, it just felt like we were doing what we loved. And, that's a real gift. Also, my grandfather always told me, the second it doesn't feel fun, the second it doesn't feel rewarding or fulfilling, is the second that you walk away from it. And I'm in my late 30s, and it's always felt good. I'm having more fun at it now than I ever did in my life.
So let's fast forward to a little bit where, you brought us to the current state of today, right? So, the hard work and the training, where has it led you today from a career or professional perspective? Like, tell us about what your life is like now.
Well, the one thing I also will say is, just like probably Chase and Dale can tell you, you fail a lot at this. There's not a lot of us they're Justins where, the career kept just getting more and bigger and better. And, there's many of us that were told no about 2,000 times and continue to be told no. So there's been a lot of times where I've had to start my career over. And, that I think I learned from doing it at such a young age that sometimes just comes with the territory, that's a part of it that I wanted to share too, because I think sometimes people from the outside look in and think, oh, you have the life, you have this, and they don't really see what it looks like behind the scenes. They don't see that, I went into the music business, and after that I lost everything and had to put the pieces of my life back together again. They don't see that the writer's strike happened, and I had been on shows, series regulars and all of that, and then I couldn't get hired for almost 2 years. So it's a lot of ups and downs, and you just really have to love it so much that you'll keep going. And life now it looks, now I'm developing a lot, I'm producing, I'm writing. So I work a lot with Hallmark. I've got 4 shows in development with them right now. And so I'm trying to manage 2 children and, producing and writing, and also then going away to do 3 movies for them a year. And it's a lot. And I also run a website for women that's kind of my love project, where the focus is just highlighting incredible women and telling their stories. And they each write a piece for us they contribute every month, and we get to hear their remarkable journeys as mothers, as women, entrepreneurs. And it's not just celebrity driven. We have a couple of people that are known, but most of them are people that nobody knows, because women everywhere are just really killing it out there. So balance is really hard, but every single thing I'm doing in my life has a lot of purpose and brings me a lot of joy. So at the end of the day, I really can't complain about being tired some days,
Awesome. Well, so I'm curious, like, we're here today in a kind of a new world, right? Like, you're part of this iconic brand and are on this kind of like world stage, if you will, of being a Mouseketeer. And now in today's modern age, there's a ton of technology, social media, people can broadcast to the world, and it's becoming a little bit more challenging to be successful as an entrepreneur. So what would your one tip be to an entrepreneur that on what they can do to be successful in today's modern age of technology and social media?
Okay, sorry, you cut out for 1 second. So essentially you're asking what advice tip can I give to somebody?
Yeah, to an entrepreneur who wants to be successful in today's age of social media and technology.
Well, the first thing I would say, because this is big to me, is authenticity. Is what you want to, whatever t-shirt line, makeup line, website, like whatever it is, why are you doing it? What is the purpose behind it? Because if the purpose is because you just want to be famous or you just want to be known, then I feel like if you rub up against the hard days, the really, really, really hard stuff, it can be easy to just quit. But if your intention, if what you're doing you really believe in and you're authentically attached to it in a really purposeful way, then it's going to carry you through the valleys, the times when, you do lose everything, or when you do get the doors or the windows closed on in your face. It's going to carry you through because you really believe in what you're doing. It's going to get you out of bed in the morning. It's going to keep you up past your bedtime when you're really, really, really tired. So that's the first thing I would say is, do you believe in what you're doing? Does it serve a purpose, not just in your life, but I'm a big believer in, what are you giving back to the world in it? So that's number one. And then number two would be just to, if you really believe in it, it's something you really want to do, don't give up. Keep going. And that doesn't mean, I will say this, because I also teach at a local acting studio, and I teach at UCLA. And one of the things I tell people is, when I say don't give up, it doesn't mean like don't do anything else in your life. You have to pay your bills. You need to fill up your well with other things that bring you joy. Like for me, whenever the writer's strike happened and I could not get arrested as an actor, I started teaching, and I love teaching, and I love doing that. And that's just an extension, another way for me to, not just make money, but it brings me joy. It gives me a lot of purpose. So that would be another piece of advice for me. Like sometimes we become so singularly focused on this one thing we want to do that we miss out on all the other things that could happen in our lives. That could not only bring us success, but a lot of happiness. I would not be where I am if I wouldn't have said yes to 100 other things that weren't just acting, so that would be another piece of advice. And the last thing would be, like, if you're miserable and you're unhappy and it's not bringing you joy, then say farewell.
Awesome. So let's talk about the upcoming event, right? The Mickey Mouse Reunion Club event, the 30-year celebration. So why is it important for you to participate in this event and celebrate? And what would you tell somebody who's thinking about attending themselves?
Oh, well, for me, it's really important because, like I said earlier, I still can't believe that I was chosen to be a part of this legacy. And I'm so grateful, and it changed the course of my life. And all of my dreams have come true in so many ways because the Mickey Mouse Club existed and because I got to be a part of it. So for me, it's just a way to be able to go back to the place where really it all started and to say thank you for all that you've given me and for all that you've brought into my life and all the people that you've brought into my life. So that's number one. I've been wanting this to happen for a really long time, so I'm really excited to be able to be there. And then for somebody wanting to join, I think that Dale and Chase have worked tirelessly to create an experience for fans, for the fans. Like, this is for all the people who watched the show and loved the show and loved the people involved in the show. It is for you, and every single minute or second of this whole entire weekend has been planned for the people that are showing up to be a part of it. So that's what I would say. You're going to get, such a specialized experience. You're going to get to see performances, and Lindsay is doing her show, Blood, Sweat, and Mouseketeers. I personally can't wait to see that myself. And, all the fangirls, all most of your favorite boys are going to be there. So there you go. I mean, there's no reason not to go.
Well, very cool. So last question, and that's, obviously being a part of the Disney brand has given you an opportunity to connect with a lot of like successful, famous people. But let's talk not about Disney and the Mickey Mouse Club, but if you had one person that you would like to meet and connect with, that's still here with us, today, not a figure from the past, but someone here today.
Not Jesus.
Who would that person be?
Oh, Obama, the Obamas, for me. And also I will add Ruth Bader Ginsburg to the list. I was watching On the Basis of Sex recently, which is the movie about, it's about one case in her life, but it's a movie about her life. And I was watching it in tears because what she did for women was so huge, and the courage and the bravery that she had to have to make that happen. It's just, every time I think about it, it absolutely brings me to tears. She is a remarkable human being and a legend. So I would love to meet her, and I would love to hang out with the Obamas. To this day, I think he's the best president that we've ever had. They're so smart, the way that he handled the office with grace and integrity. I just love him. I would love to talk his ear off about the decisions that he made and the choices that he made and how he was able to be the kind of human being that he was when there was a lot of people in our country that weren't very kind to him, and what it takes to always take the higher road. So for me, those people as of now would be at the top of the list.
Well, very cool. You never know who might see this or read this someday, and maybe one of the ladies there will want to pen an article for your site.
I swear, if Ruth Bader Ginsburg, if I ever see her, I think I would just crumble. I think I would crumble into a million little pieces and just start crying. But yeah, you're right. I mean, here's for hoping, right?
Right. Well, again, we're putting the attention into the universe, and maybe she's a fan of the Mickey Mouse Club or Disney.
Who isn't? I dare them to hate us.
Well, awesome. And so you're more than welcome to hang out here with us. I see we've got Mark Warden here. But so if you want to definitely hang out and participate, but I definitely want to make sure we get a chance to bring this gentleman in.
Yes, I'm gonna jump off because I have to take my kid to the pediatrician. But thank you for taking the time to do this. Dale, Chase, you guys are amazing. You've put so much energy and effort into all of this for all of us and all of the fans, and cannot thank you all enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you.
We'll see you soon, huh?
Love you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye.